Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Preeti Sharma, your pathology and microbiology faculty at PrepLadder, and I have the honor of sharing the screen with Dr. Debayan, ranked 4 in the recently conducted INI-CET May 2025. Congratulations, Dr. Debayan, from the entire team of PrepLadder for this amazing result. Under 10 rank is genuinely very, very nice. Has the result finally sunk in? Are you still processing it? How's the feeling?
A very good evening, ma'am. Yes, I would say it's an amazing feeling. Took a while to sink in because I didn't expect such a good rank. The exam was not very much up to my expectation, but still I did check it multiple times. So now I guess I finally settled in with the fact that I have scored a rank of 4.
Wow, that's really nice. And of course, before this session, I was talking to Dr. Debayan, and we can see a lot of medals and trophies behind him. So that definitely tells us that he's been a quiz champ all throughout his MBBS. So I would start your journey from there only. Anyone who's won so many medals and prizes has certainly not just relied on online apps. There has been a lot of studying of standard textbooks that must have gone beside behind it. So I want to start from there. What is your take on the importance of reading standard textbooks?
Ma'am, firstly, I would like to say that standard textbooks do have a very good role in shaping up concepts. So, if we look at the exams in the past 2 to 3 years, the INI-CET or the NEET exam, a lot of it tests the core concepts. It is not the exact repeats which are coming up every year. It is the same areas of concepts which get tested. So,
Correct.
I am a very firm believer of the fact that if we have a particular concept, if we are able to master it, I think we can answer it. If we can answer any question which comes on that particular concept or topic. So that was initially my priority when I set about starting my preparation. So in my first and second year, I made sure that I'm giving adequate amount of time to the standard textbooks because those are the base and the foundation subjects.
Correct.
And if we have a good grip on those subjects, the subjects of the third and final year become much easier to understand.
Right. So that's of course very important during your prof exams. But as you proceed in MBBS, time crunch is something that every student deals with, and that is when online apps have to be integrated into your preparation. So how did you utilize online apps? Were you only relying on main videos, or did you also go through rapid revision, or did you create a customized balance between these?
Ma'am, so I like give a good glance of the notes of the rapid revision videos. So I made sure that I just have a look at them, and I was able to revise them in a good speed. So that was not an issue, and I ensured that I practiced more questions of the first and the second year subjects rather than relying more on the videos. So,
Mhm.
because I had a good knowledge of those subjects, so it didn't require a lot of brush up. So I used to ensure that I practice umpteen number of questions so that the concepts or the facts which I could just revise quickly and the concept stays with me as I go.
Perfect. So there has to be a balance because not everyone can go through all main videos. It's not possible to revise it in the end. So you'll have to customize and decide whether you want to do main videos for certain subjects and rapid revision for the others. Moving on to the next burning question, which I'm asked a lot, is how to approach a grand test. So there are two things I want to ask you. First, what was your frequency of giving the GTs? And secondly, how did you analyze them?
Ma'am, firstly, I would like to say that I started giving the grant tests a little earlier than most people like to give it. I was in the end of my third year and the beginning of my final year. So
Okay.
that's when I started giving the grant test. But of course, the motive of giving a grant test at that time was not to get a maximum number of correct questions. It was just to get a hang of the format of the exam, like the feel of attempting 200 questions.
Perfect.
And I was not ready with my preparation in all subjects was not up to the par at that time. So my main focus was that I'm able to make proper educated guesses or not, or rather, how much of the subject I have a good knowledge of. That helped me gauge my preparation during that phase. And as I progressed and I have come to my internship, that is when I started giving a much more serious attempt to the grand tests.
Hmm.
I ensured that whenever the grand test is live, I made it a point to attempt it so that I get an accurate rank at the end of the grand test. And again, as you mentioned rightly, giving a grand test is 50%. Another 50% lies in adequately analyzing and reviewing the grand test after it is over. So I always made sure that I review my incorrect questions and questions which I've guessed correctly. So as to just ensure that I'm on the right track and my thought process for a particular question aligns with what is expected for that question.
Perfect. I also want to ask you about the Champions exam that was conducted by PrepLadder close to the INI-CET exam. What is your take on the level of the exam and what was your rank in the same?
Well, ma'am, the Champions exam was something I just came to know when I was scrolling through my Instagram. I just had a advertisement of that, so I registered for the Champions exam. The exam was pretty well balanced, and it was quite in line with the actual INI-CET exam, which was conducted a month later. And the exam had a good mix of questions, I would say, questions with single option correct. And what the INI-CET is testing more frequently nowadays is statement-based questions, wherein
Yes.
a set of 4 to 5 statements are given and you have to choose which are correct or incorrect. So I guess that test, the Champions exam I had given for INI-CET in the month of April, I believe, it covered pretty much all the types of questions which are asked, like the match the following type or image-based questions. There was a pretty good mix of all the questions. So, really helped me get an idea of the actual exam which was coming up. And I think I got a rank of 6 or 7. I don't remember exactly. So I guess that pretty much mirrored my rank in the actual exam which I had given.
Great. That's really nice. And yes, I agree with you. The pattern in the previous years has been that INI set is testing you more on those multiple options, multiple statements, and match the following, which we saw in this particular exam as well. And even the stress on the pre and the paraclinical subjects, which has been INI set's favorite, was also replicated in this exam. So I think more the number of grand tests you give, and I really like your approach of appearing for grand tests, not just for knowing your score, but also getting the feel of the exam, like you did that in your final prof, which I think is a very wise thought, which I expect from someone who's got rank 4, and that is exactly why you are here. So that's amazing advice for the juniors that you've given. But before we end this session, since it's your day, any gratitude message? Because I'm sure there's an army of people who have equally worked hard for you to achieve this rank today.
Well, at the outset, I would just like to thank my parents, my mother and father. They were my pillars of support. They have been very understanding, kind, and loving all throughout this journey. None of them are doctors. I am the first doctor in my family, but
Oh,
still understand all the struggles that I had gone through these 5 years, and they were very supportive during this phase of my preparation. So I definitely owe my result to my parents. I'm also indebted to my grandparents for all their love and support which they have given me. And I would just like to give a shout out to all the seniors, my batchmates, my friends, my juniors in the college, because they too have played in some way or the other a part in helping me groom in a particular subject. We used to discuss stuff when we were together, so I feel that definitely played a part in what I am today. So my deep thank you to all of them.
I'm sure they're equally proud of you, and they are sharing your result also with everyone whom they are meeting, because I think it's a matter of pride for them that you've attained such an amazing result. Before we end this session, is the branch decided? Do we know what Dr. Debayan is going to opt for?
Well, there is a little bit of a debacle, but
Of course.
inclined towards taking a surgical branch. So I'll just make a more concrete decisions in the coming days.
I'm sure you will, and I'm sure you'll make the best decision because you come across as a very wise student, and I'm sure you're going to make wise decisions. Wishing you all the very best for your journey ahead. And we know we have a budding, hopefully, a surgeon who's going to achieve much greater heights, and this is just the beginning. So, all the very best for your future.